Hello everyone, myself Dr. Sandeep Kumar Bansal, Associate Professor, Ramesh Institute of Vocational and Technical Education, Greater Noida, is in front of you to discuss about the Unit 2nd of the subject Pharmaceutical Organic Chemistry 3rd with subject code BP401. As far as syllabus is concerned, this unit consists of 4 parts. Part 1 deals with geometrical isomerism and methods available for its nomenclature. The methods that are used for the nomenclature of geometrical isomerisms are cis-trans, Ez, and syn and anti-system. Part 2 deals with the methods for determination of configuration of the geometrical isomers, and the available methods are physical methods and chemical methods. Similarly, part 3rd consists of conformational isomerism in ethane and butane and cyclohexane. Here one point has to be remembered that conformational isomers are also known as rotational isomers. Part 4 has 2 sections. First section deals with stereochemistry of the biphenyl compounds, and the stereochemistry of biphenyl compounds is also known as atrope isomerism. In the same section, we will also study about the conditions for optical activity of biphenyl compounds. Section 2nd of this part will deal with the stereospecific and stereoselective reactions. So there are some reactions that are stereospecific and some reactions that are stereoselective. So in this part 1, my total lectures will be divided in 4 parts. So in part 1, I am going to discuss about the geometrical isomerism and nomenclature that is being used for geometrical isomers, namely cis, trans, Ez, syn or anti-system. Now, before proceeding further, one should know what the term isomer stands for, or what are the isomers. So everybody knows isomers are the compounds having the same molecular formula but behave as a different compound. Isomers can be categorized into categories. First one is called structural isomers. The structural isomers are also known as the constitutional isomers. Second one, stereoisomers. Structural isomers are the compounds having the same molecular formula, but they differ in the order of attachment of their atoms, groups within their molecules. Here we can quote the examples of chain isomerism, position isomerism, keto-enol tautomerism. So this part is already covered in the subject, your previous semester subject, organic chemistry. On the other hand, stereoisomers are the compounds having the same molecular formula, identical order of attachments of their atoms and groups within their molecule, but they differ in the relative position of those atoms or groups in the space. So my dear students, please mind here, stereoisomers are the isomers that they differ in relative position of atoms or groups in the space. Now, as far as classification of stereoisomers is concerned, we can use three systems to categorize or to divide stereoisomers. First system says to divide stereoisomers in two classes, configurational isomers and the conformational isomers. Conformational isomers are also known as the rotational isomers. Second system says just divide them in enantiomers and isomers. As we know, enantiomers are the compounds or the stereoisomers that are mirror image of each other, but diisomers are not the mirror image of each other. On the other hand, third system says that classify stereomers, isomers in three categories: enantiomers, geometrical isomers, and conformational isomers. So these are the three different views regarding the classification of the stereoisomers. So on this basis, I classified stereoisomers in these classes. Isomers, one is constitutional, another is the stereoisomers. Stereoisomers are further classified into conformational and configurational. Configurational isomers are further classified into geometric and optical. Optical are further classified into enantiomers and the diisomers. So in order to understand what is geometrical isomerism and what are the geometrical isomers, we should get clearly understand it. So to have clarification over it, I am taking an example of 1,2-dichloroethane. This is the structure of 1,2-dichloroethane. In the structure 1, chlorine atom is present on the one side of double bond, and another chlorine atom is present on the another side of the bond. In this structure, both the chlorine atoms are present on the same side of the single bond. So ideally, these two structures should be different, but they are not different. Why? It is because we can convert one structure into another just by twisting. Just by twisting. So we can convert it into another just by twisting around the carbon-carbon single bond. So that's why they are not the isomers. In order to have more clarity about the geometrical isomerism, we should know the concept behind it. Basically, all the alkenes consist of a one pi bond, and the energy of this pi bond is 284 kilojoule per mole. If we want to interconvert these two arrangements, we have to break this bond. Now, question is how we can break this bond. So we need to overcome this energy barrier, and the required energy to overcome this energy barrier comes through the effective collisions that takes place inside the molecule at room temperature. But in this case, the significant number of effective collisions are very less. They are extremely unlikely. So here the possibility of such interconversion is reduced, that is, it is totally negligible. So there should be hindered rotation about C-C double bond, and thus both the structures would have independent existence. Please mind, both the compounds should have the independent existence with different physical constant like boiling point, melting point, and the dipole moment. And if such situation arises, So these types of isomers are called geometric isomers and also known as the pi diastereomers. Why? It's because this is isomerism due to the presence of the pi bond, and because of the different arrangement of the atoms on the double bond, and ultimately this phenomena is known as the geometrical isomerism. Now see, geometrical isomerism is also called cis-trans isomerism. Carbon atoms of the carbon-carbon double bond are sp2 hybridized. Carbon-carbon double bond consists of the one sigma bond and one pi bond. And this pi bond is particularly responsible. This pi bond is responsible, that is locking the molecule in one position. Therefore, rotation around this double bond is not possible. And this restriction of rotation about carbon-carbon double bond is responsible for the geometrical isomerism. So here we can say this is the whole sum up of the previous discussion, and now in order to have better understanding, I would like to share a video. Have a look.
Compounds with single bonds have free rotation around the carbon-carbon bond, but double bonds, the rotation is restricted, which means that the branches coming off of the double bond between the carbons, their orientation is important. On the left-hand version, the two branches that are chlorine are both going up, and that's called cis orientation. And if they're opposite, then that's called trans, like the two chlorines on the right. So for example, here the branches are opposite, so this would be trans-butene. You can hypnotize yourself by looking at this and get the meaning of those two words into your brain.
Now this is a time to identify which isomer is cis, which isomer is trans. So to understand it, we have to look on the one side of the double bond and on the another side of the double bond also. Let's designate this is the side 1 and it is the side 2. If you see the substituents that are present on the side 1, see on the side 1 chlorine, both the chlorines are present on the side 1. Similarly, hydrogen atoms are also present on the side 2. So similar types of atoms are present on same side. So this type of arrangement is called cis. But if you look upon this example, let's do it in the same manner. Side 1, side 2, this is side 1, this is side 2. So see, chlorine is present, one atom is present on side 1 and another atom is present on the side 2. One hydrogen atom is present on the side 1, another hydrogen atom is present on the side 2. If such type of arrangement is observed, so it is called trans isomerism. We can have one more example, 2-butene. One is trans-butene and another is the cis. See, on the one side there are two hydrogen and on the other side there are the two methyl. Similarly, this is having methyl groups alternate position and hydrogen groups in again alternate position. So these two forms are not interconvertible, so this is called cis and this is called trans. Few more examples are here. This is called malic acid and this is called fuminic acid. Malic acid is the cis and fuminic acid is the trans. Why? Because malic acid consists of carboxylic acid in one side and hydrogen groups on the another side. Similarly, fuminic acid is also having carboxylic acid on alternate position, and the hydrogen atoms on the again in the alternate position. Now if you look upon the crotonic acid, isocrotonic acid and transcrotonic acid, so same cis, it is having methyl group and carboxyl group at one side and both hydrogen groups at the same side. Here carboxyl group and methyl groups are on the same alternate position and hydrogen groups are again on alternate position. So we can say the structures that are shown on the left hand side are cis, and that those on the right hand side they are trans. Two more examples, allocinamic acid and transinamic acid. See, hydrogens are here in alternate position, here hydrogens are in the same side. Oleic acid and transoleic acid, you can see both the hydrogens are on the same side of the double bond, and this alkyl chain is on the another side of the double bond. Transoleic acid is also known as aliadic acid. Here hydrogen atoms are on the alternate position and this alkyl chain is again on the alternate position. Now let's see one more example. It is chloro, fluoro, iodo, bromo, ethene. I repeating again, chloro, fluoro, bromo, iodo, ethene. Now try to identify which one is cis and which one is the trans. Here we are not in the position to say which is cis and which one is the trans. Why? It is because all the four substituents in both the structures are different. We can't choose which one should be on the one side and which one is on the another side. So to overcome these type of problems, EZ system of nomenclature came into existence. So this is also known as IUPAC system of cis-trans isomerism, and this is called EZ system, and this system is totally based on the priority rule, as you must have read in the optical isomerism, and this is called RS system. So now we will have try to understand this EZ system. So first of all, we have to focus on the rules of the EZ nomenclature. According to this method, if the groups with higher priority, please mind, I am saying the groups with higher priority are present on opposite side of the double bond. In this condition, this isomer is represented by the letter E. E stands for antigen. Spelling please, recall the spelling, ENTZEGEN. Basically it is a German word and it means opposite. For our convenience, we can remember it like E for enemy. On the other hand, if both the groups with high priority are on the same side of the double bond, the isomer is represented by the letter Z. Z stands for zusammen and it means together, because it is German letter. So these letters E and Z represented within the parenthesis. Parenthesis means bracket and are separated from the rest of the name with a hyphen. Please recall all these points. E, the groups with higher priority must be on the alternate position or on the opposite side of the double bond. For Z, they must be together or on the same side of the double bond. Both the letters E and Z are represented within parenthesis, it means in the bracket, and are separated from the name of the dash structure with the hyphen. Now, look upon the steps that are involved in its nomenclature. First, we have to determine the priority, and for priority we have to recall CIP rule. What I'm saying? CIP rule. CAHN in gold, Prelog rules that are similar, that are used in RS system of the nomenclature. Now, after assigning the priority, we have to see whether higher priority groups are on the same side or on the opposite side of the double bond. If they are on opposite side of the double bond, we will describe it with the letter E. If they are on the same side, we will describe it with the letter Z. So let's have some practice for this using recalling the CIP rules. CIP rule stand for Kahn in gold Prelog rules. So in this first rule, examine the atoms directly attached to the compound and substituent with higher atomic number. Higher atomic number takes precedence over the substituent with a lower atomic number. This is the key point that we have to keep in our mind, that atomic number, we have to count atomic number. If it is high, we will take it in priority. If it is low, we will not take it into the priority. Hydrogen being with the atomic number 1, so it is considered at the lowest priority substituent. See, consider this example again that I have discussed 4 slides back: chlorine, bromine, iodine and hydrogen. Hydrogen, iodine, bromine and chlorine. Now, to tackle this type of problem, first basically remember, divide structure into separate carbons. Consider it as a carbon number 1 and it as a carbon number 2. So let me do same thing with this another molecule. Carbon number 1, carbon number 2. See, now carbon number 1, attachment on the carbon number 1 are chlorine and bromine. Now if we look upon the atomic number of chlorine and bromine, so everybody knows that bromine is having higher atomic number than chlorine, so it will get the priority. Now look upon the carbon number 2, it is having hydrogen as a one substituent, iodine as another substituent. So in this case, iodine being with the higher atomic number will go with higher priority. Now see, both the higher priority groups are, we have decided. Now look upon the second molecule. In second molecule, see, this carbon is again having bromine and chlorine. So which one is getting higher priority? Bromine. Now upon this carbon, iodine is getting higher priority. So in both the structures, we have decided the higher priority substituent on both the carbons. Now see which carbon in case number 1. I am calling it this case number 1. Case number A, better to say, to avoid any confusion. Case number B. In case number A, both the higher priority atom are on the same side of the double bond. So that's why it has been configured the assignment Z. Similarly, now if you see second structure, see this double bond, and both the higher priority groups are on the opposite side of the double bond. So that's why this configuration is being designated as E. It is designated as E. So I think you must have got clear idea how to determine EZ configuration. Now come to the rule 2. If isotopes are getting involved in the system, then we have to consider atomic mass. The isotope with higher atomic mass will be given the higher priority. In this case, see, one carbon, another carbon. This carbon is having methyl as a substituent and hydrogen as a substituent. So methyl is get the priority. Here, hydrogen is one atomic mass 1, deuterium with atomic mass number 2. So it will get the priority. So let me focus over this. So this is the high priority group and this is the high priority group. So both the high priority groups, you can see easily, are on the same side. So that's why it is called Z. Here, both the high priority groups are on the opposite side. So therefore, it is designated as E isomer. Rule 3. If there are two substituents with equal rank, please mind, I am saying both the substituents with equal rank. What does it mean? Then proceed along the two substituent chain until there is a point of difference. Please focus, please mind it. I am saying two substituents with equal rank, then we have to proceed further till we get the point of difference. First, for this, first determine which of the chain has the first connection to an atom with the highest priority, that is highest atomic number, the chain has the higher priority. If the chain are similar, proceed down the chain until the point of difference is identified. Please mind this. We have to identify the point of difference. Until unless we are able to find the point of difference, we cannot differentiate between E and Z isomers. Let's see few examples. Now here, one substituent available is methyl and another is the ethyl. See how I am doing it. This carbon is having three substituents: hydrogen, hydrogen, and hydrogen. Now look upon this carbon. This carbon is having one hydrogen, another hydrogen. So both hydrogens are of equal rank. So this carbon is also of equal rank. But if we see the third substituent of this carbon, it's the carbon. So this carbon will be given higher priority as compared to this hydrogen. So this is the point of difference, that the first structure, this structure contains hydrogen and this structure contains carbon. So carbon is having the higher atomic number, so it will get the priority. See one more. Now, if we look upon this next example, we have to focus over this carbon. See this carbon. Now we have to see the different substituents that are attached to this carbon. The very first one is hydrogen. Here is also hydrogen. Second substituent is methyl, and here is also methyl. So till now there is no point of difference. Structure is same. So we can leave the structure up to here. Now if we see further, the third substituent here is hydrogen, and here is the methyl, and this is the point of difference. With the higher atomic number, carbon is having priority over the hydrogen. So that's why this is given the high priority, this is given the low priority. See one more case. We have to focus for this carbon and this carbon. See, here the first substituent is hydrogen, similar. Again here second substituent is methyl, here is the methyl, it's also similar. So till now the molecule is similar. So to find out the difference, we have to look upon the third substituent, that is bromine and the methyl. So it is very clear that the bromine is having the higher atomic number as compared to the methyl. So it will get the higher priority. In this slide, we can summarize all the discussion held till now. So organic molecules in which X is the substituent and X is nothing, simply the alkyl groups. If this type of situation arises, then see, for example, it is propyl, ethyl, methyl and hydrogen. So we have to given the priority to the propyl, followed by ethyl, followed by methyl and followed by the hydrogen. So here we can have a thumb rule that longer the hydrocarbon chain, higher its priority. Please focus again. I am saying longer the hydrocarbon chain, higher its priority. So make it thumb rule. So let's have one example. See this example. This is the carbon bond. It is the one carbon. It is another carbon. See the substituent. On the first carbon, the substituent is methyl and the hydrogen. So which is having the priority? Absolutely it is methyl. In second carbon, the propyl group is having the priority. So now since both the priority groups are on the same side, so this isomer is called Z, and here both the priority groups methyl as well as propyl are on the opposite side, so it is having the E configuration. Similarly, in this case we are having bromo methyl chloromethyl, so priority will go to bromomethyl. In this case priority will go to methyl. So here we can see easily that this bromomethyl and methyl are having the higher priority, are on the same side, so it is Z, and having the priority bromomethyl, it is here, and the methyl, it is here. So both are on the alternate position. So it is being assigned the E configuration. Now come to the rule 4. It is about the double and triple bond. So to deal with the sketch, we have to consider bond as a separate atom. So for this, we can imagine that pi bond is broken and the atoms are at ends are duplicate, and these duplicate atoms are considered as the phantom atoms, that is they are attached with the single bond. So we can deal the double and triple bond by considering them as equivalent to number of single bonds. See here is the ethylene C triple bond C. So triple bond, this carbon, triply bonded carbon is being considered as connected to further 3 carbons. Here it is doubly bonded carbon, so it is supposed to be connected with 1 hydrogen as it is there and 2 further carbon. So now we can easily identify the point of difference. This carbon is attached with 3 carbons and this carbon is attached with 2 carbons, so it will get the higher priority. Here it is very easy. So both the higher priority groups are on the same side, so it is Z isomer. Here both the higher priority groups are on the opposite side, so it is called E isomer. One more example. This is having the aldehyde group and it is ethylene group. On the one carbon, we are talking about this carbon. So in this carbon, it is having C double bond O. So we can consider it as carbon attached with further 2 oxygen atoms. In ethylene case, it is again doubly bonded carbon. So we can consider it as carbon 1 attached further with 2 carbons. So here, if we find out the difference among these 2 structures, this carbon is attached with 1 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. This carbon is attached with 1 hydrogen and 2 carbon. And oxygen being with higher atomic number than the carbon, so it will get the priority. So this group is having on priority, and similarly for this second carbon, this group is at priority. So this both are the same side, so this is called Z. And here in this case, both are on the alternate side, so this is called E isomer. Now I think I have been clear to you how to designate E and Z isomerism. Now let's look upon some more examples regarding if the double bonds are more than 1. So in this case they are called polyenes. The sub compounds are called polyenes. Now if there are n double bonds, and ending groups, mind here again I am mentioning one more point. If both the groups are ending with different groups, like here it is ending with the phenyl and here it is ending with the chloro. So both the ending groups are different. So here the number of isomers will be 2 to the power n. 2 to the power n. So here number of double bonds are 1, 2, 3, 4. So number of isomers will be 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 means it will have the 16 isomers. Now let's see another one more case. If we see that both the ends are having the similar atoms, see both the ends are having the chlorine and here both the ends are having the phenyl. Now here for the 2 more cases arises that it may have odd number of double bonds or it may have the even number of double bonds. If it is having even number of double bonds, say 1, 2, 3, let's count it 4. So there are 4 double bonds. So number of isomers will be 2 to the power n minus 1 plus 2 to the power n upon 2 minus 1. So here 4 isomers, 4 double bonds are there. So number of geometrical isomers will be 10. But in the lower case, we can count the number of double bonds 1, 2 and 3. So here are the 3 double bonds. So it is then odd figure. So number of geometrical isomers will be 2 to the power n minus 1 plus 2 to the power n plus 1 slash 2 minus 1. So in this case, the number of geometrical isomers are the 6. So this type of case appear when we talk about the polyenes. So polyenes, if we talk about configuration, we have talked about the only numbers of geometrical isomers. Here if we talk about the configuration, so we have to consider each and every double bond individually, and we have to look upon its arrangement. Then we have to designate E and Z configuration to both all double bonds. So here in this case, the double bond between second and third carbon is having the E, and between fifth and sixth carbon it is having the again E. So it will be designated as 2E, 5E hyphen 37 dichloro 25 octadiene. Now next come to the syn and anti-nomenclature. Syn and anti-nomenclature is not a very common nomenclature, and it is having number of exceptions and number of doubts. So this syn, to discuss it, syn is considered identical to the Z, that is Josephson, and anti is considered is with the E. So anti means it's obvious the groups should be on alternate position, and if we are calling it SN, so that means the groups should be on the same side. So this type of nomenclature exists in the cases of C double bond N and N double bond N. So there is a one thumb rule. If you see, the lone pair of electron is given the lowest priority, and the sequence of the rule applied as usual. Sequence of the rule means here is we are talking about the CIP rules. So we have to consider CIP rule as such. So this is about N-methyl amines. You can see here it is lone pair methyl, so priority will be given to the methyl. Here methyl and ethyl priority will be given to the ethyl. So both are on the same side, so it is syn, and both this ethyl and methyl are on the opposite side, so this is called anti. Aldozymes. For aldozymes we have to count H and OH. You have to count H and OH. If H and OH are on the same side, they are called syn. If H, OH are on the alternate positions of the double bond, they are called anti-aldozymes. So please be remember, for aldozymes, we have to consider the combination of H and OH. Similarly, as a compound show geometrical isomerism, here you can see the phenyl, but the phenyls are on alternate positions, so that's why it has been assigned the configuration anti. Similarly, here both the phenyl groups are on the same side, so it has been assigned the syn configuration. So it is all about my discussion on the geometrical isomerism and its nomenclature. So students, get ready with one paper and a pen. So let's have a very small assessment what we have studied till now. So get ready with a paper and pen. So what we have discussed till now, we can have a small practice session for it. Here I will provide the 8 structures, and you have to give E or Z configuration, and you will get 30 seconds for the structure. So first structure is available for you. Second structure. Third structure. Fourth structure. Fifth structure. Sixth structure. Seventh structure. Eighth structure. So hold for a moment and wait for the answer for your queries. So here are your answers. For first it's E, for second it's Z, E, E, Z, E, E, and for eighth it is EE because it is having the double bond. So just to have a sum up how we did it, we have divided the structure in two parts with one carbon and another carbon. See, this first carbon is having chlorine and bromine, so bromine is with a high priority. Here, methyl and ethyl is high priority. So both the groups with high priority have been marked strict, and we can see their position. So if we see the position, we can easily identify whether it is E or Z. These are all your answers. In next lecture, we will discuss about the method of determination of configuration of geometrical isomers. So till then, thank you. Have a nice day.